Hi little skeletons, it is Disney Queen Skelly here. So like you guys saw yesterday, I talked about one of my favorite episodes of Family Guy. Today I'm going to be mentioning the second one, and then tomorrow I'm going to do Bob's Burgers, and then the day after I'm going to be doing The Simpsons. So this episode is called Send Stewie In Please. I believe that's the title of it. Send in Stewie Please. It's season 16, episode 12. Now the whole point of the episode is Stewie actually goes into a child psychologist's office because he pushed a little boy down. I think it's down the stairs, or he just pushed him down and he hurt him. So again, this is an episode where there's no B story. It's just Stewie and a therapist. Most of the time Stewie is the one doing the talking, which is understandable. This therapist is just kind of listening. And at one point, Stewie, well, like, the entire thing is Stewie kind of just rambling, which I don't know why the episode intrigues me so much. I think it's because we, again, get a deeper sense of who Stewie is. Part of me really hopes that Family Guy will do this with, like, the other characters in the family, like Lois, Peter, Meg, and Chris. But until then, this is just where we are. So we got a deeper look into Brian in the Brian and Stewie episode and how he kind of came out of it like a better dog. And in this one, we kind of learn a bit more about Stewie. We learn that, one, he doesn't speak in a British accent normally, and another thing we learn is that he loves musicals. He wanted to be in Hamilton, but he never really had anyone to sing to. He actually also started, one of the first things he did was he analyzed the therapist's life based on one singular photo of the therapist and his boyfriend. And this analysis, I believe, takes up a full like 10 to 11 minutes. The psychologist kind of like takes the picture at the end and like slams it down like, you don't need to be talking about it. You don't need to be analyzing me. I'm analyzing you. And towards the end, Stewie actually ends up, in a sense, and again, spoiler if you haven't seen it, he ends up killing the therapist because he needs like some heart medication. He ends up having like an almost heart attack at the end of the he ends up having a heart attack, and Stewie doesn't give him his meds because the therapist is the only one who really knows all this stuff about him, and he doesn't want it getting out to other people because he still wants to keep up this facade of who he is to other people. This intimidating little 1-year-old who wants world domination. I honestly didn't expect this episode to ever be a thing. And it's mainly because after they did Brian and Stewie, it all just seemed like the same slapstick stuff that they were going to continue to do and that they are continuing to do and that I still thoroughly enjoy. Because the one thing that amazes me is just the creativity and how they can create a different story in each episode. Like, it still amazes me to this day. After Stewie kind of goes like through analyzing the therapist, he listens to what the therapist has to say, and therapist questions if Stewie's actually British because he can't hear the accent. It's just an incredible episode. I don't know why, I feel like I'd have so much more to say when it came to these episodes, but it's more of a sense of like, you guys just have to watch them just to kind of understand where I'm coming from. And again, this is another case of there's no B story. It's just Stewie and this therapist for a solid 24 minutes. And I like the fact that we can see more of this raw side of Stewie, because progressively from season 1 episode 1 to season 20 episode, I believe they're on 9 right now, or 22 episode 9 at time of recording. I don't know where they're going to be at time of posting. But from then to then, there's a clear difference of Stewie's personality. He went from this diabolical, damn you all, burn in hell type of guy to someone who's still maniacal and obviously can hurt someone if he wants to. But he's also more sentimental, and he's also the smartest person in the family. So he tends to bring that out a bit more than he would in the past. And it's incredible to see also how vulnerable he is. Because if you really think about it, Stewie would refuse to really show his vulnerable side. He didn't like being vulnerable. He wanted to be this tough cookie, never really showing off kind of who he is. And then he turns around and all of a sudden it's like, hey, this kid is just an entire mask. He's an entire facade that we didn't know about. And seeing that raw image is just a total whiplash. this is definitely an episode you guys need to watch. I don't want to give away too much because I do want to have you guys watch it. Go on Hulu, log into somebody else's Hulu and watch this episode because it's just, again, I really have a hard time like talking about this because there's just so much to it. You know, me talking about it is not going to do it justice at all. And I always love coming across it when I rewatch Family Guy. I've rewatched this series more times than I can count on my hands and my toes. And when I always come across it, I get excited. I actually got excited today because the Brian and Stewie episode came up while I was watching. I was just kind of excited, like, but my mom woke up, so we kind of talked a little bit through it, and kind of, you know, it didn't piss me off because I do love talking to my mama. But when it comes to like my favorite episodes, I kind of just want to watch my favorite episodes uninterrupted. And I really hope to share these episodes with Luis because he has told me that he's never seen these 2 episodes, and I really, really, really want to have him watch them just to see what they're like. I think I might have shown him the therapist one at one point. I feel like I have. But the other 2 that we're going to talk about, he's already seen. I feel like I haven't shown him Brian and Stewie, though, which I will at some point. But yeah, definitely watch Please Send in Stewie, or send Stewie in, please. It's an incredible episode, just again, because it's so different, and I really hope Family Guy and Seth MacFarlane really see how deep these episodes are and possibly continue on with other characters, again, like Peter, Lois, Meg, and Chris. One episode I'd really love to see is Meg, and really diving into her, because the reason why she is the way she is, and I learned this through, again, watching interviews, is because the writers didn't know how to write for a teenage girl, so they just kind of made her the punching bag. I guess that's why Meg is the way she is. I feel so bad for Mila Kunis, but she's a good sport. She obviously wouldn't be, you know, continuing to go if she didn't have some kind of, you know, sense of humor about her. And I know there's an episode where they're all like, it's raining and they're stuck inside, and Meg finally goes off on why she's so upset at the family. But I would really love to see an episode of like Meg really like explaining herself like Stewie did in this episode. I think it would be really interesting to see. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Have you seen this episode of Please Send in Stewie, or Send Stewie in, please? Send in Stewie, please. I don't know the order. If you've seen this episode, let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section down below. Once again, please be polite and respectful to others, as you guys will have different opinions. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, little skeletons. Please stay safe. I love you guys.